I get to see my head behind me. That's a little awkward now.
No, it's where dreams happen. Not gonna say magic. Don't even really want to think about that.
I'm sorry for.
Just stop talking right now.
The funniest thing to ever come out of Cam is that a Supra.
We thought of it while we were drunk.
Yeah.
I have a bottle of Moscato in me.
That is the epitome of the planning of this website. Welcome everybody to episode 261 of the Camcast. Woo! Podcast that is yep. We're still doing this remote thing. We're still here.
For the foreseeable future.
And our father figures are dropping like flies.
Chirp this time. Seriously, I expected more out of him.
We have removed all the barriers for entry for Brandon, and still he cannot be here for reasons I don't quite understand.
Disappointment.
Exactly. Anyway, I am Mike, dear leader, doc taste, leader of men, herder of cats, guy who made himself a steak dinner and almost set a tree on fire in the process. How you doing?
Pray tell.
The grill on our deck is like right up against the railing, and there is a tree that is growing up right against the railing. And I forgot my little spray bottle to spritz down, flare-ups. And yeah, pegged the thermometer on the lid of the grill, opened it up, and almost lost me eyebrows, but they're still there. Yep.
That's the hat. Oh no, your eyebrows are below that. I can't see what's going on here.
He can't see what's going on here. He is the one, the only, the good Colonel Eddie D himself, the chairman of the boards, Zack Lords.
Gas is very heavy.
Okay, we'll get to put a pin in that one. Come back to that. And he is running this whole show, for better or for worse.
For worse.
Yeah, there you go. Let's just go ahead and put all our cards on the table. It is the shadowy billionaire himself, the one, the only, the Trent Bray.
Ahoy hoy.
Wow. You got two in there. Yeah.
There's some Mountain Dew Zero Sugar for you.
There we go. I ran out of booze, so I'm just drinking water. I ate a bunch of ice cream before we got going, though, so that's something.
It's practically the same.
Pretty much.
I'm close. I got a thing of Baileys and one more of these, and then I'm done.
A thing of Baileys. It's
for camping. It goes good with everything. Hot chocolate, coffee.
I mean, yeah.
Baileys goes good with Baileys.
Okay, all right.
Have you ever watched the video, ever had Baileys from a shoe?
No, I have not watched that one.
Okay.
Anyway, we are at Cam Automag on all of the social medias, pretty much just Instagram and Facebook at this point. If, racing were to get going, you'd see me getting spicy on race weekends on Twitter. That's a thing that happens.
I need to get the Snapchat going.
Snapchat, TikTok, something. Get on one of the youth social medias.
No TikTok, please.
No, all right, whatever. Just whatever it is you so feel. Just start it up and let the people know where it can be seen. This podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play. Like, rate, review, subscribe. Listen, if you're essential, you need a rallying flag for you and the rest of your essential workers. This podcast can be that rally flag. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Damn right. Anyway, hey,
instead of opening up the country again, open up your podcast ears.
Yeah.
To what we have to say, and shove that into your brain.
Are you an angry white man who's now being really pissed off because the government is having the audacity to tell you what you can and can't do with your body? Well, one, I'll explain why that's kind of ironic. And two, you go ahead and listen to all 260 past episodes of this podcast and see how you're feeling. I think you're going to be feeling a little different. I think that rage.
That's for sure.
I think that rage is going to be pointed in very different directions. You're not going to be at the state capitol. God only knows where you're going to be. Who knows?
Whoa!
You're just going to be picking fights in the AutoZone parking lot.
That's our next YouTube hit right there is forcing a boomer to sit through 261 episodes of the Camcast and seeing how they feel afterwards.
We could just start with the ones that I get started with. Like, just start at what 130?
Something like that. Yeah, as soon as we legitimately get a child on the podcast, there we go.
Because, dripping all that hot boy swag, am I right?
Oh, man. Well,
I have to tell that story. Like, people who listen to this podcast and we meet new people adjacent, they tell me to tell that story. And it's embarrassing because I tell it in this circumstance, but nowhere else.
Listen, we've all got weird things we got to tell from our tenure here with Cam. So, that's your thing now. That's what you got to do.
I'm not proud of that, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm not proud of a Viper has a vendetta against me. So, here we are. We all got a lot of weird shit because of Cam. So
we all have our skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do.
And speaking of stuff that you can get from Cam that isn't weird or will carry a vendetta, head over to CamAutoswag.com and get yourself something like this sweet beanie, the shirt that Trent's wearing, the hat that Zack is so desperately looking for.
I don't know what it is.
Oh!
Not what I was looking for, but...
Oh, but he's got a business card, something you can't get on CamAutoswag.com. But hey!
See me in person.
There it is. Eddie Deed at CamAutomag.com.
Whose phone number is this? I've never asked that before.
I don't know.
It's a Google Voice number.
I'm gonna call it. Can I call it?
I don't know if it's active anymore.
Oh, we're going to find out because I'm bored.
Okay, well, you do that while I keep doing this stuff. Yes, CamAutoswag.com is where you go to support us directly by buying all the Cam merchandise. Be like Gavin. Get a shirt with our faces on it. Or he is
a hero amongst men.
Oh, yes. And, hey, man, Wing Coop is still doing to-go orders, so go get you some Wing Coop. Get your I Sign the Waiver shirt. Take a selfie in front of the Mighty Coop, and, hey, buy you a dozen wings. Sauce of your choice, bone-in or boneless.
AJ saying from the chat that his hat is doing great.
Good. I should probably look at the chat, but I'll get to that later.
I have it up.
Good. Another way you can support us is Patreon, patreon.com/CamAutomag. That is a place where you can go give a small monthly donation or a large one, anywhere from $1 up to $15,000, as we found out. But I mean, hey, man, if you really want to send us $380,000 and just try to run this whole thing yourself for a month, that's still an option. We'll let you know where to Venmo that.
I'm going to throw something out there.
Okay.
If you sign up for the $15,000 a month, I will, even amongst the COVID-19 fears, I will fly out to see you.
Wow.
Provided you're in the continental United States.
Oh, you won't go international for us?
Nah, it's got to be a place.
There's a lot of travel restrictions that the country puts out there right now.
You don't want to get stuck in Venezuela or something?
I really don't.
No, that's unfortunate.
No, I don't think. Not right now. I mean, if you give us $15,000 and Southwest flies to your city, Trent will come see you.
You're going to Houston.
Come on. No. Don't play me out like a cheapskate like that. I fly JetBlue.
All right. Ooh. Money bags over here.
Hey, he's a shiny billionaire for a reason.
Really, right. It's the Southwest with a little more leg room.
Well, I got a thing for you guys real quickly.
Okay.
Is it that you keep hitting the vape on 420 here?
Oh, no, buddy.
I'm calling the
number. Okay, well, while you do that. Is it not doing anything? There it is.
Sorry, I was loading up. I wonder what the voicemail's going to be. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, people don't answer phones.
This is exciting podcasting
Hello,
over here.
this is the Turpin. Please leave a message.
That's not us. Hang up the phone.
Abort.
That was 1,000% not us.
It's the number on the fucking business card. I have 500 of these.
Yeah, well, don't worry.
They were really only used for SEMA, right?
Yeah.
I've handed them out. I was like, oh, you want to listen to our podcast? Go here. Here's the name.
Yeah, whatever. Nobody's calling us.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't know that because we don't have the fucking number.
All right.
Yeah,
fine.
Nobody's calling us because they can't.
There we go. Problem solved. Back to the Patreon thing real quick. $5 a month is the best bang for your buck. It gets you into the super secret Shenanigans shitposting Facebook group, where you get to watch this podcast being recorded live every Monday. Every Monday that we do it, you get to watch it happen.
It's most Mondays, too.
Pretty much. You get bonus content. You get early access to the podcast, the audio version before it comes out. And, it's only available if you give us $5 or more on Patreon, patreon.com/camautomag. Steady Broke Clothing, they've been our longtime sponsor for a while. They're the reason that I have couple more 2X black shirts that I do so thoroughly enjoy, the Depresso and the Block Broke AF shirt. But they are steady.broke on all the social media, steadybroke.com. Head over there, put all of their affordable, awesome merchandise in your cart, and use coupon code CAMAUTO15 at checkout. Save 15% on your entire order. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't live your dreams. And tomorrow is Tuesday, or yesterday was Tuesday, depending on how you're getting this podcast. Again, more reason to hit us up on Patreon, $5. But yeah, Tuesday is a Tuesday, and we do Twitch Tuesday things, or at least I do. We are going to be doing more Forza Horizon 4 because that seems to be taking off. Got a small but dedicated crew of people who are willing to bang around the English countryside in various vans and what other random ass things we've got going on. So
I am willing but unable. So you keep fighting the good fight on Cam's behalf.
There we go. If you want to get in on this, add Cam Auto Mike on Xbox Live, and once I get going, we can all join the same caravan in the same session, and it'll be fun. You can come find us. We can try doing backies in a 900 horsepower van. Doesn't work out that well. Turns out those things are not really that snappy like that.
No, they are not.
Nope. Anyway, so Zach, how did you figure out gas was heavy? Yeah, y'all thought I was going to forget.
I replaced the fuel pump on a Suburban.
Okay.
It was the one that we went camping with 3 weeks ago. I don't remember when it was. We had to tow it to my shop on Asian Mike's flatbed trailer and skinny chick, and it bowed the axles of the trailer.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I might be buying a new tire here in the future for that trailer.
Well, it happens.
We towed it from the mouth of Provo Canyon
to
my shop, which is about 55 miles.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. All back roads at 2 a.m. It was fun. But, basically we had to drop the tank. It was very, very heavy. I also got to work on a Carmen Ghia this weekend.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's coming to my shop this week as well. I'm doing electrical work on it. It needs weird stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're paying me money, so that's all I really care about.
That's helpful.
Yeah, that's really all that matters at this point.
And the final thing is I got good news.
Yeah?
I have finally ordered the parts to get my Subaru done.
Nice.
I'm thanking my Trump bucks for that, for sure. And then get NR2 parts taken care of, so I'll hopefully have 2 running cars before the end of the season.
Nice. That will be very nice. All right.
Hey, Trent, how's the Viper going?
I got a bunch of parts sitting in the garage.
Perfect.
Just got like the last couple of parts for the motor. So like the valve cover gasket showed up. Couple of random things like that. I also ordered a skip shift eliminator. It's like it goes from first to fourth if you are too low in the RPM range. So got that ordered and delivered and all that, and cleaned out my area. Like I cleaned off the my little shop bench this weekend, and so it's just ready. I'm out of excuses other than time, and I'm spent here running this thing for you guys instead of working on my Viper. So it's Mike's fault, really.
Yeah,
good.
It's
good.
Definitely our fault. There's not an underlying reason here for sure.
Nope, definitely not me.
Nope, not you at all. It's entirely me and my hatred for that car.
I'm just going to apologize now because I feel at fault here. Sorry for stealing all of your time.
Yeah.
Yep. I appreciate your apology. I don't accept it, but I appreciate
would
that
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
why would you ever accept?
I'm playing the angry old white man today, by the way.
There you
if
go.
You can tell.
There we
Just
go.
my role in this podcast today.
Hey, are you our boomer?
I don't identify with that term, but
Okay,
yes.
Karen.
Well, yeah. As soon as you start saying that it's a slur, we're gonna start
Dude.
calling you Karen.
Don't
That-
no.
Go. All right. Well,
I know
let's,
which complex you live in. I don't know the actual apartment.
Come
Sure.
at me, bro.
I'm sure you could figure it out.
Come at me, bro.
I know where I could air out your tires, and by air out I mean slash.
Oh,
And Joey would just be watching from his deck.
Probably a beer in one hand,
That would be amazing.
smile on his face.
Just,
go do it. Woo!
just happy as he could possibly be.
Joey's okay with me because I'm not driving my Subaru anymore. He doesn't have to hear. straight
Oh no, it's
Subaru
not
anymore.
anything to do with it being okay with you. You just
No, you just think it would be
get
hilarious.
entertainment out of it. Yeah.
He's one for
Yeah.
anarchy for sure.
Exactly. Well, speaking of people who may or may not be for anarchy, happy birthday to the following people: Travis Cox, Jake Morrow, who really should never, ever, ever hold an axe, Greg Valdez, Ran Wen, Mike Kresser, Chance Hathaway, Ty Isaac, and Chris Miller.
Hey.
Yeah. There we go. Happy birthday to everybody. Moving on. All right. We are into the news, which Trent took care of, but I kind of proofread a little bit. I kind of know it's.
You,
I kind-
you didn't take any stories out, so
I
you didn't
glossed-
look.
I glossed over. All right.
Yeah.
Listen.
You did not give it its blessing. That is for sure, because
You
you
didn't.
didn't take anything out.
You did more than I did.
I had to watch the first 2 episodes of The Last Dance while I was at work today, okay? I was busy.
You sound so busy at work.
God, I am just daring the internet to keep me entertained for another day. That's just my job at this point.
I assume you already made it through Tiger King last week.
I refuse to watch Tiger King.
I'm to the first episode. That's about it for me.
I've seen
About
the memes. I'm good.
episode 3, you really get into how is this real life? Like it just boggles your mind, and you have to keep watching.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
You're probably
fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
no,
should probably stay that way.
Yeah, no, I've seen enough of the memes. I know what's
you don't
going
like
on.
the Carol Baskin TikTok video?
What the hell are you doing?
You haven't seen it?
No, I have not, Zach. I don't know.
It was on
We
fucking John
don't
Oliver this
talk.
week.
We don't tick and we don't talk. So
Nope.
I'm not even on TikTok. I have a coworker is, and he keeps like, oh, "You should see this video," and I'm like, "You're twice my age. Go away."
God damn. That's really... TikTok's not really attracting the youth. It's just really attracting the ignorant, apparently. Anyway,
well,
so,
speaking of attracting the youth,
yes.
Kia's trying to give the Stinger more power.
Awa.
Power!
Yes.
I mean, we're all for that. We like... I like the Stinger.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you
Yes.
guys like it. Yeah.
Not as much as Gavin does, but we've had some chats somewhat recently, about how I actually thought the interior was kind of lackluster compared to some of its competition, but it's the dynamics is what you buy it for. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, speaking of Gavin, his Mount Cammore shirt came today.
yes,
And he is very
and
excited about it.
It is brilliant. Like I said earlier, he's a hero amongst men for that.
Oh yes. Well, next thing up is we got to get together and recreate Kraftwerk album cover. So that's going to be the next Cam group shirt.
So yeah, staying on topic. the Kia Stinger's not getting the 3.5 liter from the G80, the Genesis G80.
Well, damn it.
It will retain the 3.3 liter that it currently has, but it will be getting an unknown power bump next year, which is interesting because the difference between the 3.3 and the 3.5 is like 20 horsepower, if that. Here, let me pull up the article
like
before I talk out of my butt. Yeah.
Yeah,
and so it's like...
Yeah, 15 horsepower and 15 torque. That's the difference.
Yeah. So it's like, why wouldn't you? But I don't know. It seems to make too much sense. So I guess they won't do it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, well, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully it's something awesome, I guess. The Stinger, I don't know what you could possibly throw behind Stinger to make it sound cooler, but you know.
Yeah, it's probably only going to be like a 5 horsepower bump if that's the case, if they're keeping that same motor. But
sweet.
They're also going to, do mid-cycle refresh stuff, change nip and tuck a little bit here and there.
Poke, prod, squeeze, tenderize, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Well, speaking of et cetera,
Oh, geez.
BMW's doing something weird?
The next gen 7 Series is going to get 3 all-electric versions because reasons.
Yeah, so they're trying to replace the top end to get rid of the twin-turbo V12, but they're doing it with a bunch of different models. Like, there's the i7 M60 potentially, or it could be the MI7. People are just kind of guessing on the name, but...
The Mi7?
Yeah, the Mi7. But it should produce like 650 horsepower, which is a fair amount, and they're gunning for about 400 miles between recharge.
Damn.
That's not
too bad at all.
That's cool, but at the same time, they're also going to come out with lesser power versions like the potentially i750 or the i740i.
Yeah.
Okay. But then they're also going to have a gas motor, but then they're also going to have 2 plug-in hybrid versions.
They're just really getting...
And then potentially another gas one? Like, what is BMW thinking? Like,
I mean,
how many motor combinations do you need? Plus a diesel version in Europe.
That is 7 models, 6 of which are going to be coming to the U.S. potentially.
Wait, you just said it. It makes sense. 7 Series. They've got to have 7 different versions of it.
There it is, and BMW just doesn't know.
You solved it. You solved it enough.
Thank you.
Is the 7 Series that market diverse that we need? Like,
fuck and no, Zach.
We have a 3 and a 5 Series for a reason, because the market's diverse enough for those. But there's also now a 1 and a 2 and a 4.
Okay, well, I'll tell you, there's 2 buyers for 7 Series. The person who wants to be a baller and gets the 740 because that's all they can afford, and the people who are actually a baller and get either the Alpina B7 or the 760i. That's just
So then why does the 750 exist then?
Exactly.
No, there really only needs to be 1 7 Series, but whatever,
If you could, 8 Series is the 7 Series, but for people who want 2, I don't know. It's bullshit. BMW
this is BMW's problem now. They just keep coming up with things they keep thinking there's a hole, and then they got to fill the hole, and that's not a thing. Yes. Speaking of things that don't need to exist, but BMW demands it.
So we now have the BMW Ursa, right?
Yeah, we got a thing. BMW has trademarked the X8M.
So hold on, I might not know here because I'm not looking at new SUVs. Does the 8X exist now?
No.
Nope.
They have the X7, which is a 3-row vehicle. This would be a flagship 2-row vehicle.
It would be a 2-row?
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be a 5-seater or a 4-seater or something. And they'd make the X8 Coupe as well, because that's just what SUV. BMW does. No. It's a 4-door.
Oh,
Just like the X6 and the X4.
Yep, it's just going
the
to be
X2.
utterly useless. But hey, it's a
Well,
thing
I
you
was
can
hoping
get.
I was hoping for the days of the Bronco. I guess that's coming back, but
Yeah, we're getting
the two-door Blazer, the two-door 4Runner.
No, those
two-door
days are
sports
gone.
SUV. Hey,
Oh yeah,
hey.
no,
Take that back.
Never to come back again. Yeah, so we know it'll be expensive. We know it'll be ridiculous, and I mean it'll be fast, but
And we'll see some in Draper
oh for sure.
and Lehigh. That wasn't a joke at you, Trent, this time. Not this time.
no, because I don't live in Draper.
That's why it wasn't at you.
Perfect.
You didn't need to say it.
Thanks. Anyway, that's
That's about all we need to say about the
Yeah.
X8M.
yep.
Nothing
Okay,
is
good.
sacred anymore. Good. Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking
Time
of
is
sacred
illusion.
things,
Yes. So
Cadillac confirms CT4V and CT5V will have a manual trans.
yes, and also the Blackwing name will be
Yes.
around for things that will not actually have the Blackwing V8 in it.
Yes. Now
Because
the
fuck
CT
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And we just talked about nothing sacred. Nothing.
Time is an illusion. God is a lie. That's where we're at. That is the philosophy you need to be working with if you're in the marketing department for any major manufacturer.
Yeah, so the funny thing is the CT5 Blackwings is rumored to be using the company's supercharged 6.2 liter V8, but the thing that replaced that 6.2 liter V8 was the 4.2 liter V8 Blackwing.
Yeah,
And
like
the Blackwing isn't going to have the 4.2 liter V8 Blackwing motor.
But why did you make the motor then? Like,
right?
because they even said it's not going to be in anything that isn't a Cadillac. So like, why is it here now?
No.
I don't.
Are we only talking about Cadillac and BMW?
No.
Eventually we'll get to stuff that's a lot crazier. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. All right.
Episode 3, Tiger King crazy?
I mean-
yes, the next story after this next one is Tiger King level crazy. But speaking of Cadillac, while we're still on Cadillac, despite the CTS wagon really not selling well, Cadillac is teasing that they have put the CT5 wagon under consideration.
Ooh.
Yes, and we all want
Which-
it,
Everyone wants that, yeah.
but we don't
Yeah.
want to pay for it. So
No.
they'll make it. It won't sell.
And I'll
we-
buy it in 10 years.
We are the reason cool things exist, and we are also the reason cool things die before their time.
Yeah.
We are the second owners of the cool things, but nobody wants to be the first owner of the cool thing. So,
I am willing and not able to be the owner of the first cool thing.
listen, yeah, I'll go out and die on that hill. I'll be the first dude to make it happen, but, you know, I need somebody to bankroll the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not me.
And that's where you come in. Patreon.com/CamAutoMag. Help bankroll our bad ideas.
Or
So-
if you want to skip straight to the source, Mike's Venmo is no.
Mike from Cam.
Yeah. So, getting into Tiger King levels of crazy,
This
there's some vaporware that wants a lot of your money. Okay, now hold on. Before you all comment on this, what if I told you there is a full-size electric SUV that will go 700 miles on 700-mile all-electric range? There we go.
Oh my God.
1,500 horsepower, seats 8 people, tows 26,000 pounds.
It
Can I
can
pause
be
this?
had.
Can I
It can be had in Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yes, it can be had for $140,000 that you wire to them right now.
Oh my God.
And it's by a New Jersey solar company that you've never heard of before.
I have one response.
Do I have your business?
I have one response.
Wow, this is roomy.
Yeah.
Can you name the truck with four-wheel drive? Smells like a steak and 635.
Canyon
Perfect.
That's your only response. I'm done. I have no other comment.
Yeah, man.
Zach, just when I think you can't sink any lower, you go ahead and totally redeem yourself.
Perfect. Oh my God.
Yes, so this is the Triton H and the Triton H Performance. It looks kind of like an Escalade, but they're going to have a roof that is covered in solar panels. And I had quite the lengthy discussion with a fan of ours, Brandon Kuhn, today about this.
Yeah.
It's like an
And
Escalade.
it
does.
Dude, it is a Grand
Yeah, it
Theft
does.
Auto Escalade.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
exactly what this thing is.
He basically said in no short terms that if it's possible, Elon Musk has already done it. So if Elon
They're
Musk
bold words.
could make a 700-mile range, 1,500 horsepower SUV, he would have already done so. He's an electrician, and so he's like, yeah, you can have a 200 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is what this vehicle says. But he's like, the amperage isn't there to make all those claims and to make that all happen. Like, you can stick a big enough battery pack in it, but it's still not going to do all the things that it says it's going to do.
I just want to read this. Like, there is one part of this paragraph here that
Only
is
one?
just it's leaping out to me because it is a link to something. But the company is Triton Solar. They apparently have something called Pandora's Box Energy Storage, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with the story of Pandora's Box, but it's really not good.
I've seen Futurama. I know what a Pandora's box is.
There you go. Yeah, man.
Sorry, Farnsworth Paradox. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's I don't know. I'd be real leery of that. And anybody who says we were going to make a sports car, but we really just decided to shift gears and make this bootleg Escalade.
Yeah, because they said the sports car wasn't going to sell. So they're basing production in India, though.
Oh yeah, it's going to lower costs for sure.
Yeah, but here's the tricky thing. They do say it's only a $5,000 deposit. However, within 5 business days, they do expect the additional $135,000 in the form of a wire transfer. So,
Good God, no.
That sounds really legit.
Totally
Right?
legit.
If I was a car company, that's how I would do it.
That is
this is
insane.
a company that is based out of Nigeria, based on the way they talk.
That is a P.O. box somewhere in New Jersey, I guarantee you. That is all that they are.
Apparently, they've been around since 2012, installing and selling solar. But
All right. Well,
So next week we're going to hear Vivint Solar is now producing a semi-truck.
there you go.
Is that the next
I
evolution here?
wouldn't be that surprised, honestly, because Utah's whole got to one-up each other, and Nikola was based in Utah, so...
I'm here for this ridiculous bullshit. That's what I'm here for.
But
Well-
in case you didn't think making cars was hard, like Triton seems to think so, turns out making cars is hard.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yes.
you don't say.
Why haven't you built a car yet? Oh, because it's hard.
Yes. So
Oh, because it's a very complex process involving many, many, many other complex processes. Okay.
yes. So our soon-to-be supreme overlord Elon Musk.
Good news,
has-
everybody.
Yeah,
There's a report on TV with some very bad news.
exactly.
Oh, man.
Tesla is actually changing the design of the Cybertruck to be more practical.
I mean,
What?
how could you
Right?
possibly make it any more practical than it already is? I mean,
Yeah.
really.
Oh, hey,
So-
hey, I want to play a game here.
Okay.
Mike, will you be Elon Musk for a second?
Sure.
Mr. Elon.
Yes, peasant.
I enjoy, like things like fishing and camping and rivers and lakes.
Uh-huh.
Well, will this vehicle be watertight?
Bitch, it'll float. Moving on.
That wasn't a great segue. I thought it was going to be way better in my head.
Yeah, it's all right.
So can I get back to the story?
Please do.
Sorry,
And then
I
we'll-
fucked that
Excellent.
up.
Okay, so it is still surprisingly close to the concept, but they did lower the belt line, so the belt line doesn't, go up, because turns out when you load cargo into a truck, you want to be able to load cargo into the truck.
Lies.
And so they're lowering the belt line so that people can get things in more easily, and then they're also increasing the greenhouse of it, making the windows a little bit bigger so you can see.
But I like
an
my gun
important
slits.
thing. Yeah. So really honestly minor tweaks. It is 3% smaller overall. But I mean, you have to look at it side by side to really tell the differences. But it is interesting that Elon's actually taking suggestions on how to make the truck better. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta give him some props for that.
Well, I mean, we do have to give him some props for that. We do have to give him some props for claiming that it will float. And so this all comes
Right.
from somebody on Twitter. The handle is @batflyer, all one word. He asked Elon, "Have you thought about Cybertruck's wading depth? I hunt and fish and sometimes need to cross streams. Can I do it without damaging the truck?" Elon, "Yes, it will even float for a while." Now, as Justin Westbrook in the Jalopnik story points out, presumably most cars are capable of floating. The Volkswagen Beetle was capable of floating unintentionally for over an hour.
They were. I have a story from my grandfather where he watched a beetle float down the river.
Yeah, I mean, it would do that for over an hour with no preparation beforehand. And in theory, I mean, if the ceiling's good enough on the doors and everything, I mean, it is a giant metal bubble, so granted it is less dense than the thing it is in, it'll float. But what exactly Elon means by it will even float for a while is really up to interpretation.
Yeah, that's dangerous to say for him, because people will believe anything they says and take it as gospel. And people are going to they're going to try it out first thing, like the first YouTuber to get one. Let's see how long it floats for.
Yeah, like, yeah, as AJ points out, anything will float for a while.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly what he means by for a while.
And we hope we never find out, really.
Oh, I want to find out. Are you kidding me? I want to see every moron like just dumping those things into their man-made fishing ponds by their house.
Yeah. And then trying to fish it out and getting shocked in the process.
Yes, please. I want to see that.
I'm sorry, poor residents of Harriman. I had to see if my truck would float. Fuck your fishing pond.
Yeah, Daybreak Lake. Let's go ahead and try that out.
Can somebody give me an electronic Dukes of Hazzard theme? Because that really needs to happen.
Yes.
Just give me like Dixie played on a fucking Casio.
Poor Elon didn't know what he was getting into.
Those Musk boys better grow some wings. Start flapping their arms.
As EJ says, or EJ, whatever.
EJ.
AJ says, we all remember how well the bulletproof window demo went.
Damn right.
Actually, what
Yeah.
we're going to see is like YouTubers drowned in their Tesla, which I can say some things, but
I mean, listen, I for one think the world wouldn't exactly be worse off if there was suddenly a mass disappearance of YouTube influencers.
all I can say is there's more AdSense for the little guys.
Yeah. Suddenly we can get a piece of that pie, baby.
The great cam conspiracy of 2020. Why are all the YouTubers disappearing?
Yeah, damn right.
Anyway.
Some more Kia news?
Yeah, speaking of YouTube influencers, Hyundai.
Speaking of Korea.
There is a potential 300 horsepower Veloster N on the way with a 2.5 liter turbo motor instead of the current 2 liter, because really it only makes sense. They have the corporate motor already in the Sonata N line and the Genesis G70 making 290 horse, and then the Genesis G80 makes 300 horse with the same motor. And it's also been spied testing. A Veloster N has been spied testing that motor, and it said, on the car, 2.5 liter. So that would be awesome, because right now it makes 250 horsepower or 275 with the performance package.
Oh yeah.
So
what if it made? Sorry, what?
Oh, Sam, we found this out. Or you finish.
Okay, so it could offer a 300 horsepower, maybe entry level, and then if the performance package went over that, I mean, that would be pretty awesome. The rumors say that motor, the Theta 3 motor, can make upwards of 350 horsepower. So that would be fantastic.
So Mike and I found this out, a year ago at the auto show?
Yes.
There's like 30 versions of the Veloster.
And there are an awful lot of Veloster. Like, you want a Veloster?
Yeah,
they got something for you.
I think there's 4 or 5 different versions of it, because there's the N, the normal version, then the Turbo, then the Turbo N, and then like the Sport or something in there. So there's already a handful of them, or at least it was 2 a year ago.
There was, like, for it being Hyundai, for somebody that still a lot of people sleep on, there was a lot of Veloster you could go get your hands on.
Yeah.
From mild to you're breaking my neck in traffic just trying to catch a peek of your baby blue hatchback.
Yeah.
So I'm not kidding. The other day, me and Taryn were going somewhere, and I just like kept craning my neck because there was just like a brand new Veloster N. I'm just like, hey, just had to watch it. So, all right. So that is the news. As I quickly pull up Cam Auto Swag, Zack from V12 wants to know how he can get his hands on a Mount Cammore shirt. So I'm going to send him the link.
CamAutoswag.com.
Yeah, I'm just sending him the link straight to the shirt. Just really
even better.
Exactly. Just cutting out any potential. But you know what? You out there, head over to CamAutoswag.com, because I'm looking. We got the Fly Cam Am shirt. Got the eyesight and the waiver. We've got all sorts of fun stuff. New logo, old logo, all that fun stuff. CamAutoswag.com. And there we go. Tight. Done and done. Commerce has been completed. So
I expect an order immediately, Zach.
I mean, God willing. Anyway, so we are here in the apocalypse, in our various hidey holes, if you will.
Or bunkers.
Yep.
Metaphorical bunkers.
Exactly. There is no racing happening currently, despite what some people really, really, really want.
But Chinese baseball is back.
Taiwanese baseball.
Or Taiwanese baseball, yes.
Hell yeah, and they're fist fighting already, baby. America's game is really, really showing the globe how to handle their problems. Just throwing at people's heads and just getting in dust-ups. Anyway, so, but there are yearly entries in racing games, like F1, MotoGP, whatever. And while the games are a lot the same from year to year, there are some differences from year to year. So like F1 2020 would presumably have Zandvoort and the Hanoi street circuit, and also, different people on the teams, and the cars would be balanced differently. So, it would be a little bit different of a game. You might actually be able to be somewhat competitive in a Williams,
Yeah.
And yeah, same thing with MotoGP. So it hit me today as me and Trent were talking. What are next year's racing games going to be like? Since we don't really have anything to go on. So, yeah, I put that out there, and you guys did not disappoint. So first, let's go around the Zoom chat here. What do you guys think? Do you think anything's going to be drastically different, or
I don't
weird?
think a lot will be different. I think it will be as if you're familiar with the NBA video games, NBA Live is like a joke compared to NBA 2K, because every year they're like, we're going to totally change the game. And then 2 weeks before release, they're like, actually, we've got still a lot more work to do. We're just going to skip this year and come out next year.
A whole lot of psych. Just kidding.
Yeah. So in their case, it's a whole lot of crying wolf. But I think what you'll see is, F1 2020 is they're just going to skip this year. And the next year they'll come out with what they were going to come out with this year with a few tweaks and, assume everybody gets 3% better unless you're Racing Point or something. And
Racing Point, you're
Williams
potentially get a
goes
lot better.
Back. Williams goes back 5% instead of gains 3%. Just things like that. They'll make some judgment calls there.
Yeah, I think.
I like the idea of if we do get a Formula One season, the 19 races to meet FIA, whatever.
I would love the idea of Codemasters charging you $60 for a game that has a championship length of 8 races, and that's it.
Yeah. But I like the idea of a rushed game that has very little to do with what actually happened, and just everyone just flipping the fuck out because that's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
See, what they should do is they should run the full season on Codemasters if they do come out with one this year, and you get to rewrite history. They do the whole thing, play up the narrative of what would have happened. You get to decide.
That would be awesome if that were to actually happen. And I think it's basically going to be like F1 2019 and a half.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Because I'm fairly confident they probably didn't get any sort of scans of Hanoi or Zandvoort. So, yeah. And I don't think they could amplify the bumpiness of Coda anymore. So, yep. So, here we go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm here for it to be weird. I'm here for Lando Norris's Euro Truck Simulator.
Oh yes.
Yep. That is a fun YouTube video. Go watch it. Lando Norris actually plays Euro Truck Simulator, and he flips the truck.
Nice.
Yep. Anyway, so Jackson Henderson, probably just slightly different graphics and liveries, but the 2019 games will be the exact same for 2020 is my guess. Although for F1 doing so many races online, maybe they will take a lot of that data and put it into the player attributes and make a more dynamic competition. Here's the problem. Not every F1 driver is actually partaking in this. And Max Verstappen has come out and said, I'm not going to be playing that because, one, it would take me too long to adjust, and two, when you compare it to some of these other things that I do, like R Factor and iRacing, some more closer to an actual proper sim, whereas F1 2019 is more of just a straight up video game. It's just I just can't. I'm not going to bother trying to figure that out because it's not going to help me at all. So that's a thing. So you have a lot of the top guys not being in there. So
yeah, but you could just fill in Max Verstappen for Jacques Villeneuve with an Xbox controller.
Well, there we go. God, if you're not watching, so the race is broadcasting those things live on YouTube, but a couple days later, WTF1, Matt and Tommy do their own commentary, and it is just the best. So it is amazing. They did the last race was at Lime Rock Park. Matt and Tommy had no idea what to make of that. And a lot of drivers had no idea what to make of the track. So anyway, Brandon Kuhn said, I'd like to see pro driver data used to develop better physics and general simulation. I mean, that's a thing that could potentially happen, but I don't think it's going to happen with what we've got going on. So, yeah. And then got a bunch of responses, shared in a bunch of places, but the real meat and potatoes was on my personal Facebook page for reasons I can't quite understand. But whatever. Let's see. Brandon McConkey, it's not related to our disaster of a 2020 season, but I hope more titles start embracing VR and titles that currently use it can expand on it. And that could potentially be a thing. We do have 2 new consoles supposedly coming out this year that do kind of have the horsepower to make this happen. So that would be nice. And AJ does point out that VR rigs are kind of pricey right now. So if you can just lower the price tag.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Ben Allred, I'm just dying for some more MotoGP. Started getting into that last year and was really excited for this year's season. I mean, MotoGP is fun. Bike racing is fun to watch. Something I have no desire to ever get into. Like, I'm never going to get on a bike. 2 wheels are bad for your boy.
I want to get back on 2 wheels.
Well, there you go. I'll live vicariously through you, I guess.
AJ says he doesn't think you posted this in the shenanigans page, by the way.
I didn't. I was trying to come up with something better for shenanigans, and then I got yelled at work by some customers who don't understand how to check their emails. So
it's a tough task,
Exactly. Especially when we sent the thing to you twice already.
I want to get mad at somebody real quickly.
Okay.
I want to get mad at Chirp.
I get mad at Chirp.
He just posted he's been moving stuff at his house all day, and those look like VC or tape decks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why he couldn't be on the podcast, I don't know.
Because he actually has to go to his real job.
Well, he said he was moving this shit around. I don't know.
No, he's like, tonight he actually has to go to work.
Yeah.
Me and him were talking about it. I have told him to start a fight club at work and fashion pole arms for his competitors so they can still do the whole 6 feet apart thing, but also be able to draw blood. This is why you don't want me to have, you don't want me to learn how to do certain things, like how to, fabricate stuff, because bad things are going to happen.
People will get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Joey Harrington, iRacing will get a boost, but I worry we'll all just forget about it once everything reverts to normal. That being said, anticipate more racing esports as studios try to cash in on the surge in iRacing popularity. Be warned, those games will not be solo player fun. He's looking at GT Sport, which it's much better with people. And let's see, Tyler Green, iRacing exposure to dozens and dozens of pro drivers that otherwise would have never picked up a, quote, video game is huge for the service. So much feedback for more accurate tire models. Also, that helps that their membership numbers have exploded too. I mean, yeah, a lot of people who would normally be spending money to get on a track are getting into iRacing. But, I mean, for the vast majority of us who, I've got somewhere to be at 3, it's 1. I just want to kill a little bit of time before I have to leave. iRacing's not necessarily that.
Nope.
No. So, let's see. AJ comes in with some heat. I would really like to see Need for Speed keep the momentum they have with Heat, but aim it more towards their real audience, 25 to 45-year-olds reliving the glory days. Less supercars and more shitboxes. You have 12 flavors of 911, but no long roof. You have several coupe and convertible iterations of Lambo, but no 240 wagon and one ancient Golf. Forza has already shown that it's possible to make a really good racing sim cross with an arcade racer. What's stopping Need for Speed from taking that a step further and including their nicer set pieces and better storytelling? Also, how is it that you can have a game with 2 S chassis and a Hakusoka, but not have an inline 6 swap for any of them? You have 4 or 5 V8s, but no straight 6s? Why? And then Joey and AJ get into quite the discussion that includes the hashtags, "It's okay to rice," "Ricing is not a crime," and also mention of a female cop in Hawaii that reminded AJ of Shaw in Heat. So there's that. And finally, Jake, the clout god Moro, he just wants Forza 8 at some point.
Yeah.
So, yep. There we go. And yes, AJ, I didn't post this in Shenanigans because I was trying to find a more fun Shenanigans question. And then, things happen. So,
Yes.
whatever. You can come yell at me on Twitch tomorrow. Just do that.
Take every chance you can get to yell at Mike.
Exactly.
I might tune in just to watch that. That would be
I mean, I've got it set up so I have, the comments are literally right in front of me. A lot closer than the actual game that I'm playing. So, your hatred will hit me before the game does. So, yep. So, there we go. Yeah, if you've got thoughts, feelings, opinions on that, go ahead and comment on this here podcast or shoot us a message, mailbag@camautomag.com. I do check it. Does come through to my phone, so...
You don't always read it, though, because you
I don't
thought
always,
you had a TDC.
I don't always read all of it. I at least read most of the subject. All right? There's a difference.
I read at least 2/3 of the subject line that comes through.
All I saw was TDC and then something. I'm like, cool, we're in business.
Well, I got something for you tonight. It's
all right.
I've got something.
Good. I like that you put it in red in the agenda.
Because I wanted you to stop here.
Because you have one.
Something.
There you go. All right, well, let's get into some racing news. And first, we do have a bit of sad news. Corey Palmer, corner worker out at UMC, timing master for NASA Utah, all-around good dude. He unfortunately been out to UMC and driven. They met Corey. We're all really heartbroken about that. It was not something we wanted to hear in the middle of all of this. So it just kind of makes this suck even more. But Corey Palmer, rest in peace, bud.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that.
Yep. We will see you on the other side. And speaking of things we're going to see on the other side, people really, really, really want their racing venues to open up. And I mean, the owner...
Picketing?
I mean...
Are they protesting?
No, but they're saying things like... They're making vague vows as to when this thing is going to open up. Like the owner of Summit Motorsports Park, they're a drag racing facility in Ohio. They always have an NHRA stop. They were supposed to open, I think, last week or the week before. But, because of all of this, they have not. So, their owner got on Facebook Live and started saying a whole bunch of stuff that really doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, how much is a human life worth? Like, is it priceless or is it valueless? And it's like, but that doesn't make sense. But he was basically saying that, yep, I am going to open the park come hell or high water. He doesn't say when. So, and hold on, I have it in here when I believe May 1st is when Ohio starts relaxing. Or Ohio's going to start relaxing stuff fairly soon. So, his whole vow could be like what many people do is they make big grand gestures and then, suddenly circumstances fall into their lap. They didn't actually do anything. So there we go. And at least 5 North Carolina senators want NASCAR to run at Charlotte Motor Speedway with no fans or anything. They are saying that this is something that NASCAR has proven that they can do, which I don't recall NASCAR running a race without fans, but
again, every
they,
race is, yeah.
They said they could do it.
Oh, yeah. They said saying you can do something and proving that you can do something are two different things.
As
No,
Bart
laughed at my-
Simpson once said, "I can do that, but I don't wanna."
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
No one laughed at my joke.
I missed your joke.
Every NASCAR race has no fans.
Damn. Got him. Pat yourself on the back, Zach. There you go.
Hey,
You earned it.
hey, don't break your arm.
I mean, I don't think you could break your arm doing that. I think you'd really like dislocate your shoulder.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
Let
like,
us know. Let us know, Zach.
I'll let you know
there
next
we
week.
go. Yeah, those
I'll be in
senators
cast.
are the North Carolina senators are urging the governor to follow in Florida's footsteps.
No one should follow in Florida's
No.
footsteps or
That's a
anything.
bad idea.
That is a terrible idea.
Unless you're
yeah.
talking about maybe titling cars. I don't know.
Yeah, that God.
You can title whatever there.
Y'all want a gray market S15 that's titled as a Nissan hardbody pickup?
Yes.
Make that happen.
Florida.
Fucking Florida. Man. Well, speaking of people who want things done behind closed doors, a Bond villain has been talking to people about running a couple of F1 races without any fans. Dr. Helmut Marko, Red Bull advisor and mid-tier Bond villain, has been talking to...
Mid-tier.
Listen, he's not as bad as some of them, but I definitely wouldn't put him at the top of the pile. Like, he's getting there, but he's the top of the midfield. He's the best of the rest.
So he's not quite up to Hank Scorpio levels like Elon Musk is, but
Not quite.
he's working on leasing an island right now.
Yeah, I don't think the good doctor could take over the eastern seaboard, but no, he has been talking to Formula One and the country of Austria to maybe see about doing a couple of races at the Red Bull Ring without fans, without the wider media. Basically, the teams would be there with just enough personnel to make it happen. And everybody, all the teams and all the people would be isolated from the rest of the population that actually lives around the track. Because people do live around the Red Bull Ring. So,
Can you imagine like F1 teams trying to pull off what they do in like SCCA? Like you have like one guy who's your buddy who does helps you with your tire changes. Like drivers
Man.
have to get out and like,
yeah,
how do I operate this thing?
just like, man.
2-minute pit stops. I
Put
love
the
it.
jack there. Not the splitter.
Dude, I am just imagining like some of the stuff that I've seen at the Utah 6 Hour. Just like, I mean, there's some
Gotta be like
ingenuity
you and
happening.
3 of your buddies that has to. That's all you get per team.
And one of you nervously holding a fire extinguisher because you know your buddies. You're like 90% sure he's gonna get the fuel filler all the way in, but man,
And you got to have that one guy who's good at math for the strategy, but knows nothing about working on the car.
nope,
So he's the one holding the fire extinguisher.
exactly. Like, oh man. See, now I want to see that.
Yes.
That's all I want to see now.
I will pay for that.
I want to see Seb try to change at least one of his own wheels.
Yes.
Oh man, but yeah, so that is a thing. Seeing as how the Paul Ricard start to the F1 season is looking more and more in doubt as France has extended their ban on mass public gatherings. But hey, here's some great news. The Virgin Australia Supercar Series, their pro invitational esports thing, has been going off. They are going to get into their third round. They have a slew of wild card entries, including former supercar driver Simona Di Silvestro, and also William Max Power of IndyCar fame, also a meme. They, along with a couple of the Super 2 series, their like junior series, they will be competing at Digital Mount Panorama. So, yes. And new for them, they're going to be doing a top 10 shootout to determine the top 10 qualifiers. So everybody's going to get one flying lap, which is going to be delightful.
Yes.
Yep. This comes hot on the heels of Max Verstappen doing a one-off appearance and driving very smoothly around Shane Van Gisbergen. But yeah, the race will be going off on Wednesday at 3 a.m. if you want to watch it live. But yeah,
I'm not gonna, but you know.
I'm not gonna either. But all the races are live and free on motorsport.tv. So good guy, Motorsport. Thank you for not putting that behind a paywall. Yep. All right, and now here's where I pump the brakes. Trent, you have a thing.
I have a thing.
Well, hold on, we need to stop here.
Well,
Yes.
we are here. So
We are here. So let's just stop for a moment.
okay. What do you got?
We're stopping for a moment.
We gotta move to stop.
All right, Ryan Celsius ruins it in the background. Anyway, so
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you can't handle like high at work.
So I don't have a Track Daily Crush today. This is going to be an open question, but it is going to be a $1 billion question
All right.
of the current manufacturers. So I want to take it back to the 20s, since we're in the 20s, but the 1920s when coach building was a thing.
Ooh.
If you could pick any current manufacturer to coach build you your own custom car, what manufacturer would you choose?
Ooh, that's a real good question.
Since all the coach building companies are pretty much out of commission now,
Yeah.
that's why I'm choosing manufacturers, just to clarify.
All right. You know?
I saw a car. It did exist.
I was really hoping you were just going to stop at I saw a car.
I saw a car once. It's a car that already exists. Does that count? Can I pull up a car that already exists? It's a one-off.
If you want, it's your money, your what manufacturer made it, and
So basically your question is like, I have a pile of money because I don't know, like
Hank Scorpio.
a 1920s oil baron or something. So,
It is,
and I want somebody to build me a car.
It's already a coach built of a coach built. But
Okay.
it's a Rolls-Royce Phantom 1 looking like this.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, I'm down.
And AJ brings up a good point, real quick. You do not have to pay for this vehicle. Like, just
Okay.
go wild, whatever you want to do.
Okay, so truly a robber baron. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
here for this.
Yeah, because Zach's answer goes along with that.
It
Right.
This is a period vehicle that was built during the 1920s. It's I can't pronounce the name. It's a something coupe. I'll let you see if you guys want to try to pronounce that. God, hold on, let's see. Oh, come on, nope,
It's not working.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt that.
Nope.
No.
Moving on.
So yeah, and that's what I would choose.
Okay.
Because it is just the classiest of the classiest. It's like it's on the same level as the Bugatti Atlantia, whatever it is.
The Atlantic, yeah.
Is it the Atlantic? Yeah. Same level.
You know, I kind of just want to see what opulence I could squeeze out of Bentley. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say no to, any of the blower cars, which I did see a thing that they took one entirely apart, scanned all the parts so they can start remaking those things. So good on you, Bentley. But yeah, no, I figure if I'm going to go with a coach builder, I think, somebody who builds the equivalent of very comfortable train cars that can power themselves. I think that would be a good one.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And I'm going to actually, yes, AJ, it does have to be a current manufacturer, by the way. I am going to basically do kind of what you guys are talking about. It was a concept vehicle. It did not get built. It is opulent and luxurious, but it is also fast. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and share my screen here for those who are watching.
Oh, good Lord.
Yes.
Oh,
it is
it's a thing.
The Bugatti Atlantic. There you go.
Hot damn.
Okay.
All right.
The new version of it, the 2015 concept version. Gull wing doors, super luxurious interior.
Oh, yeah.
Ultra fast. Like that's what you need.
Hell yeah. I
would spend millions of dollars, provided this is,
You had billions of dollars.
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would get that car coach built to my specifications, and yeah, that's all I want. I want a GT that is extremely fast and extremely luxurious.
I did want to put a side note here. I've always had a fascination with aero engine cars, like engine cars that are they weigh 4 tons and then they put a 40-liter 16-cylinder, just like Jay Leno has his one of his cars. It's a 28-liter 6-cylinder inline 6.
Good Lord. All right. Damn, that would be something.
Yeah.
So, what would your opulent, ridiculous purchase be?
Yeah. So AJ said that provided it's a current manufacturer, he's probably going to have to go with a Rolls Royce. But we're waiting to hear from him. Hopefully, he follows up with what kind of Rolls, if he's going with something like what Zack had, or if it's going to be like a Phantom 8 4-door stretched out limousine type thing. So
yeah, well, let us know what you would be doing if you were a 1920s robber baron. Mailbag at camautomag.com.
Yes. Rolls Royce interpretation of a 68 Lincoln Continental.
All right.
Oh, I love it.
I'm here for this, AJ. My God, that is brilliant.
See, look at me. I can read when there isn't a glare on the screen.
Yeah, look at you. All right, we'll figure it out.
Mike never lets me read. I'll read on the podcast.
Okay, we will fix the glare. Next time you're down here, we'll make it happen. All right, we'll fix the glare on the TV.
I'll show off my fantastic reading skills for you guys.
Thank God. That's what that's what America's clamoring for.
Yeah. AJ follows up, full sedan, suicide doors, full leather bench seats.
Ooh.
BMW V16 with twins. Yes.
Attaboy.
I am all about that.
Yeah, I think you'd probably, not only would you be the largest car on the road, you would probably be the biggest boat in the marina. So.
But does it float?
I think at that point, yeah.
He has a permanent
for a while.
Yep. A permanent mooring spot in Morocco. Not Morocco.
Monaco. There you go. Monaco. You're right there. All right. Well, you do have a couple of shenanigan news stories. So, gentlemen, I will let you decide. Do we want to hear about war crime or the secret ingredient is nightmares?
War crime.
Oh, jeez.
War crime.
War crime?
War
crime.
Yes,
we're going with war crime.
All righty. So, have you guys ever bought something off of Amazon and wasn't exactly what you thought it was going to be?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever just decided to blame an entire country because you couldn't be bothered to read the description of the item?
Always.
No.
Okay, yeah. Former White House press secretary Ari Fleischer bought his kids a PlayStation 4, and he got a second controller from Amazon. Now, if you guys want to click the link here, it looks enough like a PlayStation 4 controller, but with some key differences. The PlayStation button says P4 on it. The square looks just like an L. The triangle is cut in half. It's not a full circle, and the X is missing one of the parts of it. So,
Yep. Just enough to skirt the copyright claims.
Exactly. It's definitely one of those things that anybody with 2 functional eyes and enough of a working brain could have put this together. This was a problem. Something you shouldn't have ordered. But Ari got it and proceeded to tweet the following. Another reason to distrust China. We bought my kids a PS4 and then got a second controller from Amazon. The controller was made in China, of course, and it doesn't work. It never worked. It's junk. And then the internet, because the
responses are the best.
Because the internet is undefeated. Just remember that. The internet is undefeated.
Yes.
Let's see some of the responses. Another reason to distrust China. We bought a new car, but it only had 3 wheels. So I got a 4th wheel from Amazon. The wheel was made in China, of course, and it doesn't work. It never worked. It's junk. It's a picture of a bicycle wheel. I'm dumb enough to buy a 3-star knockoff PS4 controller with P4 written on the front. This reflects poorly on the nation of China. That's not a PS4 controller. It is a P4 controller. Get a P4, and it should work fine.
I love that one.
I really like the take the L one.
Yeah, take the L.
Because the cutoff square looks like an L.
Yeah.
That's an L.
Ari has since deleted the tweet.
You don't say.
Somebody
must have told him.
Turns out getting dunked on by the internet is not really a good look.
Yes.
All right, guys. To wrap it up with the secret ingredient is nightmares. So have you ever been rummaging around in the back of your pantry and you found something that you kind of forgot you bought? You know?
Oh, yeah, always.
Yes.
Yeah. So imagine that you found something, that you forgot. Well, your parents probably forgot that they bought. Somebody found Dinosaur Dracula on Twitter found a can of Chef Boyardee Spider-Man pasta from 1995. And he put this out there. I have a wildly corroded can of Spider-Man pasta from 1995. And if this gets 1,995 retweets, I'll show you what's inside. And again, internet undefeated. A thread. Opening a wildly corroded can of Spider-Man pasta from 1995. And I mean, it's an old can of Spider-Man pasta.
I like the photos of this is what it used to look like. This is what it looks like now.
Yeah. They say tragedy plus time equals comedy. But there's nothing funny about 15 ounces of Spider-Man pasta reduced to a rotted 3-ounce chunk, recalling the fate of Jordy Verrill in Creepshow. I'm thankful for my rubber gloves. Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Formerly full can of pasta has turned into a tiny nugget of rotting, disgusted stuff.
The flavor nugget.
Looks like a cross between Big Thunder Mountain and one of those Genosian hives from Attack of the Clones. But weirdly, so you had little Spider-Man noodles and little web noodles. You can make out the web and the Spider-Man noodles still in this hunk of fucking nightmares. So there you go.
I can't unsee that.
Nope. Like I said, the secret ingredient is nightmares.
So
wow,
that's a horrifying note to end on.
But it is the note we are ending on. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on episode 261 of the Camcast. We will be back again to do this next week. Next week, we will be going live to our full YouTube audience. So please tune in for that. We'll have Chirp with us for that. And I don't know, whoever the hell else has a webcam and a microphone and enough wherewithal here on a Monday evening.
Be careful what you wish for.
Hey, Jackson wants to join the podcast.
I know our audience. I know they're mostly toothless threats to come on. Plus, I'm still the gatekeeper, damn it.
Hey, like I said, Jackson.
Technically, I'm the gatekeeper.
This is true. You got 2 levels of security to get through. Sorry, Jackson. Not happening, bud. It ain't happening, Chief. Not today. Not next week. But anyway, follow us on all of our social medias. We are at Cam Automag on the lot of them. Subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play. Like, rate, review, subscribe. We shall be the voice of the proletariat. Essential workers unite under us. Support us at patreon.com/camautomag. Any dollar amount is welcome, but $5 is the best bang for the buck. Again, it gets you this recording live streamed every Monday, early access to the podcast, bonus content, and hell, occasionally I just send out random stuff to our patrons. So
That he does.
So that is always a thing. So patreon.com/camautomag.
And if you subscribe at the $15,000 level, if you're in the continental United States, I will fly out to you even amidst the COVID-19.
There it is.
What are you going to do? You're going to buy them fucking Arby's?
Well, yeah.
And
AJ's threatening. He says he has a microphone and a webcam and a free Monday night.
All right.
I think he just clicked all the boxes.
There you go.
I want to meet you, AJ. I get to meet you.
AJ, let's make this happen. There we go. AJ, special guest next week.
I'm excited to meet you.
Yep, it's going to be fun. Our cousin AJ, our drunkle chirp. It's going to be perfect. Go ahead and head over to camautoswag.com. Get yourself some official Cam merch like this beanie, Trent shirt, and the hat that Zack usually wears when we record. It's all right, bud. I only know where one of my hats is.
My shirt doubles as a face mask.
Perfect. Look at that. We were ahead of the curve. Anyway, camautoswag.com. And while you're out there buying some sweet-ass threads on the internet, head over to steadybroke.com. That is Steady Broke Clothing. They are at steady.broke on all the social medias. They have been our longtime sponsor. Just go ahead. They've got a whole bunch of really awesome, affordable stuff. Put all of that in your cart and use coupon code CAMAUTO15 at checkout. Save 15% on your entire order. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't live your dreams. And join us on Twitch, twitch.tv/CamAutoMike. That is where you go to watch me and the boys play Forza Horizon 4 because we've discovered terrassing around the English countryside in vans is fun. So, and a couple people have developed a game that is rather weird and interesting. So that is a thing to come check out. Tuesdays we get going around 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. AJ time, 3 p.m. Hawaiian. I actually did the math on that one, double-checked it. So, yeah, twitch.tv/CamAutoMike. And if you want to get involved and actually play with us, add Cam Auto Mike on Xbox Live. So, there you go.
And AJ promises that next week won't be boring.
Good.
He's going to pregame for this.
All right. I mean, I'm going to I don't think this moving thing is going to take too much of my time, so I'm going to go stand in line to get into the liquor store. So, gonna re-up.
It's quite the line.
It is.
Don't worry.
I drove past the other day. It's quite the line.
Well, whatever.
You got nothing to do on Thursday and Friday, or I mean after the move.
Yeah, I mean,
of course.
Well, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we'll make that happen. Anyway, so for episode 261 of the Camcast, I've been Mike.
I've been Zack.
I've been Trent.
There we go. Love you long time. There we go. Yeah, there it is. Trent understands human emotion.
Sometimes.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, how do I stop the live stream?
God.
Famous last words.
Amazing.